Hello, I'm Al Stash here at Twin Lakes Park in Villa Park, Illinois, at the northernmost part of Ardmore Avenue. And it is in the middle of January, the start of 2013. And behind me is Twin Lakes frozen. Now, the thickness of the ice is about 2 inches, which is just enough to hold a person in the water. Not a car, not anything bigger than one individual standing alone. But what we have behind me is a firefighter and other firefighters on the shoreline, a firefighter in the water that is frozen, and he is in a wetsuit, but he is playing the part of a victim who has fallen into the water. Here today are firefighters from Addison, Elmhurst, and Villa Park, and they're sharing the training experience. They're learning how to use the flotation devices, the suits, and the ropes in order to pull someone out of a water hazard like this in the middle of winter. So let's take a look at what's going on.
Firefighters and paramedics from 3 communities work together to hone their skills in the art of ice water rescues, doing what may look simple, but is a very hazardous procedure. Elmhurst, Addison, and Villa Park all congregated over 3 days at Twin Lakes Park wearing specialized suits that not only keep the rescuer relatively warm, but also serves as a flotation device. The scenario is unfortunately a common one in the early winter and spring. Someone has ventured out onto the ice on a body of water and the ice has broken through. For the rescue teams, it is critical to get the person who is trapped in the nearly frozen water out of the water and warming up as quickly as possible, without endangering anyone else in the process. Anyone who approaches a body of water needs to heed the warning signs posted in the area. Although it may sound harmless to walk or ride a vehicle out onto a seemingly frozen pond, the hazards can be deadly. Our winters have typically not been cold enough long enough to make ice safe. What may be safe one place in the frozen water may not be safe at all a few feet away. We spoke to Villa Park Fire Department Lieutenant Jamie Bickley about the training and incidents of falling through the ice in the winter.
Jamie, we've got several different fire departments out here on this winter rescue water training. What do you actually call this training?
This is ice rescue training. This is an annual training we do every year. This year and last year we've opened it up to other departments so we can train together on this. For the most part all departments train for about the same way on this, but it's always good to get a couple departments together and train together, since we would have a dual response on most of these calls.
Okay, so if you get a call like this, it's going to be multiple jurisdictions that come out and help you.
That's correct.
Now, we're not that far away from a station, but let's talk a little bit about the incident itself. Here we've got someone who's fallen in the water, and they're in very cold water. I mean, it's 32.5 degrees because it's not freezing.
Right.
But it's that cold. How long can someone last? I've heard it's like 15 minutes before you're unconscious.
Yeah, for the first 1 to 3 minutes, usually the person is shivering uncontrollably. After that, they actually stop shivering. From there, it depends on the age and the physical condition of the patient. But there's actually been confirmed rescues where people have been under the water for 60 minutes in a cold water drowning and have been resuscitated. The younger they are, the better their chances are of resuscitation because of the mammalian dive reflex.
Okay, so your body goes into normal recovery mode, the shivering is part of it.
Correct.
There's a reflex when you get in the water, that's part of it.
Right.
And shutting down your internal core is the only thing that gets
right.
heated.
It basically shunts everything to your core organs. There's only a small window where they're actually able to assist you in the rescue. After about 5 minutes or so, they lose their dexterity in their hands. They can't move. And at that point, if somebody doesn't come and get them out, the chances of survival are very low.
Now, you guys have some protective gear. You talked about the different gear that you've got here today. The yellow that we see here is one, and the red of the victim that was in the water, firefighter Sparger for a little bit. Tell us about the difference between those gears.
The suits that we had on earlier, the red suit, that's an older model suit that's probably about 10 years old. These are newer style suits. These are Mustang Ice Commander suits. You have a lot more room to move around in. You could be in a little bit longer, and they seem to keep the water out much better than the older suits. The older suits, they leak at times because they've been used quite more times. Right.
Okay, now you also have a flotation device and some ropes, and that's basically just to give you extra buoyancy?
Right, that does a couple things. First thing is when you approach the victim, the only thing that's keeping them up is that ledge of ice that they're holding on to. So if you pass them that board, that'll give them a sense of security, something to keep you away or the victim away from you. Once they hold on to that, we go ahead and we wrap that rope around them, cinch them in, and then that board also assists in pulling them in so they don't get a face full of ice and ice water.
Okay. Now, for people who don't know, we're not the ice fishing capital of the world like Minnesota or something like that. How much of the thickness of the ice does it have to be before a person can walk on it?
Well, you really shouldn't consider any ice safe, but I would say probably a minimum of 4 inches before anybody gets out there. But it also depends on the type of ice and the weather conditions. If there's snow on there, the snow provides almost a thermal layer and will actually keep it from freezing or thaw it out. So it's really hard to determine. It's kind of a gray area.
And there's a lot of natural things that go in the water and unnatural things. So we're talking about some rocks that were thrown in the water.
Sure.
That gives a little bit more heat to that area.
Right.
And also the shoreline always seems to be less than the outer areas.
The shoreline will melt first because all the rocks and the ground along there, it holds some heat and it softens up the shoreline. Any obstructions in the water, logs or anything, that'll weaken the ice around there as well. And there's also a lot of chemicals in a lot of the lakes, and that'll actually prevent them from freezing as well.
Lieutenant Eric Hegman from the Elmhurst Fire Department and firefighters Dan Vogel and Andy Giarrantano walk through the ice water rescue drills that explain the best practices for a safe and successful rescue.
Set up, so when they go to use it, it's already attached. But we're just going to use the line. So what you're going to do, did they take, oh there it is. You're going to get connected to that. You left-handed or right-handed? Right-handed. All right. So you take your rope, your left hand, take your carabiner, and all you're going to do, you're going to, no matter what, hang on to that carabiner. Okay. Then when you get up to your victim, all you have to do is put your arms around me and connect the rope.
Well, okay. You use a part of not this part, right? Beyond.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Beyond the carabiner.
Right. Yeah, you're using that.
Okay.
Okay. And then all you have to do is when you get up to the person, find it,
put it in
and connect it. Right. And it's going to connect.
Real easy.
Okay. Pat your head, and we'll pull you in.
You just got to remember the hand that you have the carabiner in. You have to make sure that goes around the victim first. So like you have to come around him on that side. So if you're a righty, you got to go around him on the right side, come up behind him. So like I'm going to come around you on your right side, and then hook in, and then you're ready. Okay. So just always remember that if you come around on the wrong side, it won't work quite as smoothly. So
when you're going in, you're going to get out and you're going to watch them. When they get out, you're going to crawl out there. You get about, 10 feet away, get on your butt. Okay, get on your butt, scoot the rest of the way, and then slide in. The reason being is that he's getting to the edge. If that ice broke, right, okay, gets on his butt, goes down. If it breaks, he's going like keeping his head out of the water. Then you slide in, get around your victim. But you see how he went, he kind of came in from the side, not straight in at the victim and then go away. If you guys want, we got a hole over here. If you want to go in there.
Want me to go in and he'll come and get me?
Yep.
All right.
He's gonna drown me! Hang on. No! Are you excited?
Try and propel him out. If he's unconscious, he's just going to be there. There's nothing he can do. So you're going to kick your feet, and then once he's out and he starts going, then you keep kicking your feet till you're horizontal, and you come out. Okay.
Rotate.
If you start crying, just stop. Got it.
you're going to have to put the carabiner in your left hand.
You ain't right that time.
And then grab another piece of the rope further down. And get it in front of you. There you go. That's it. Simple as that. Is it on? All right, now what you got to do is you're going to have to like help assist me up. There you go. Yeah.
Don't let go of the rope though, okay? Because it's quick. Once you're in, you don't want to have to, you know, find your rope. Have it out. Now I know this is how much rope I need. I can get around him.
All right, Bill. In your hands, already ready to go. Got it. But did you see what I meant about how like, which is okay. You just need. I always try to go around the victim from the right, so then it's easy, you know. And you just had to switch hands. It's no big deal. Okay. But just start out with it already in your hands and ready to go.
Okay. Hold on, Dan. Get that other. Keep that one in your hand. Yes.
Oh, both of them.
Just like that. Yes. There you go. Good. Perfect. There you go. See how much quicker?
Here, hang on.
Hold on.
I want him to just kind of get a feel for the suit. It's his first time in the suit.
Yeah, we're gonna have him go in the hole after.
Okay,
this.
all right.
Do a self-rescue. Yeah.
Next, firefighter Vogel will practice a self-rescue technique without a rope or assistance.
He's gonna pull you out.
He's going to pull myself out.
Yeah. You're gonna get in. You're gonna get your arms out. Get up on your elbows. Get your hands out. Kick your legs. Your horizontal, and then pull yourself up. Try not to get your weight over your arms. Because now all of a sudden you got all that weight.
So you break it and you're okay.
All right. Go ahead and get in the hole. There you go. All right. Now you're gonna get your arms. You're gonna get them out. Get up on your. Kick your feet. There you go. Horizontal. Pull yourself. Pull. There you go. Once you're out, roll yourself away from the hole. Okay. Good. Go ahead and get in there.
So there's the description of what we're doing here today, and this is an important thing because all communities have ponds, lakes, waterways where either a car, a vehicle, or a child or a person could fall into the water. And as Jamie was telling us, the water temperature right now is 32 degrees. Out here in the air, it's 27 degrees today. So it's colder out in the air than it is in the water. But a big difference between the air and the water is that if you go into water that's freezing, just above freezing, 32.5 degrees Fahrenheit, that will take away your normal body heat 25 times faster than the air around it. So that is the most dangerous place to be in the cold weather, inside frozen water in a pond or a lake. And response time from a fire department is going to be maybe 5-6 minutes. You've got 15 minutes, 5 minutes of help yourself time. So it's not a great place to be in the winter. So stay away from ice on ponds, on streams, on lakes in our town, and will prevent any disasters or worse. I'm Al Stash reporting from Twin Lakes Park in Villa Park, Illinois for TV VP Style.